philosophy that we're teaching. And so I would like you guys to really challenge yourself to set some big goals this year and then get your team to set some big goals. Like Maka, I want you to, set a goal. You're going to be in Korea like twice, in Vietnam. You're going to do all this stuff. You're gonna fly to the US, and you're going to be like, no, how are we going to do all of that? But you know what? That's what we want. We want you guys to set goals that you don't think you can achieve, that seems way too big. So it forces you to use what we talk about. Dean Nguyen always talks about, these little Vietnamese, Vietnamese are not that tall. Like it's exaggerating, but they're like 5 feet tall. Okay. Let's just say 5 feet. Okay. And he goes, how the hell does this Vietnamese 5 feet tall get over the 10-foot wall? And he always describes that you have a 100-pound dog chasing that little Vietnamese across the ground, and that Vietnamese is going to scale that 10-foot wall. I mean, that's what you need. You need a 100-pound dog behind you to get you over the wall. And, when I set goals like, sell 1 million yo-yos in Japan, I had no clue how I was going to do that. When I set goals of selling $2,000 of kites a day, I mean, there was no clear path to do that at all. I mean, there was no example I could even use. No one in my industry was, 700 square feet shop. That's only the size of this little room I'm in right now. And, to sell $2,000 of kites a day. Basically, I remember when I opened the shop in Ala Moana Center, in the first few days, the shop was empty. There was no inventory because I sold so much that there was nothing left. The 3-day shipping from the mainland was too long, and it was like I was empty. And that's what you want to do. I opened my shop with no air conditioning because, I mean, it wasn't ready. Too bad. We opened. I remember my Father Mac, a Catholic priest, came to my shop the day before we opened. And there was no carpet. There was no wall covering. There was no furniture. So it's bare cement, drywall on the walls. You could still see nails and things hanging out. No, the light fixtures were in, but not like everything. And he went home. He told me he went because he was going to do my blessing the next morning. And he went home and he prayed. That's what he did. He went home and he prayed because it was like, no way. Like, wow, there's nothing there yet. And the next morning when he came at 8 o'clock in the morning, before it opened, all the kites were up, the lights, the carpet, the wall covering, everything was up. The kites were all in the shop already. The furniture, the cabinets, everything happened in less than one night. And I thought for sure that night I was not going to be able to go to sleep because we were so far behind. And you know what? I went home, I don't know, it was probably 1:30 in the morning, but I went home and I went to sleep and I came back in the morning and we ran our first day in the kite shop that, eventually did over $2,000 every day. And so, I'm going to tell you guys that you guys definitely want to challenge your team, but first challenge yourself to do all of the homework, to get everything done and show pictures, of those details that you're doing. You got to be the leader. You got to be the example. And then when you're motivating your team to take action and work, the biggest issue is that we don't ever set up what happens when somebody is against a wall and they are stuck. And if you know this game is all about, getting to the wall. That's what this game is all about, getting to the wall. So bound to happen that your people will hit the wall. And when they hit the wall, you got to be ready to know when it happened. So I want you guys to really get from each of your members, what happens when you hit the wall? Do you go to sleep? Do you run away? Do you get sick? Do you, get spaced out, confused? What happens? What is the behavior? So you got to get it in behavior terms. Okay, so, I really need you guys to determine that for yourself, what happens for you and what happens for your members. And then what's the best way for me to coach you when you're there? How do I help you to get out of that? Do I just, maybe, everybody will need at that point to be reminded of their goal. So make sure you guys are keeping copies of your team members' definite main purpose in life statement. So you can, challenge them to read it. But if they go, I'm not interested in that anymore, you can talk about it to them and remind them again of their goal, what they want. Because that's a really important aspect to our work as coaches. We want to be the mentor that helps them over the wall. And truly this business and success, I should say, all success has its moment, as we talked about yesterday, where you're not going to actually want what you said you wanted when you were at the top of the last mountain. You will not want it anymore. It's just not going to be in your mind. And when pressed, you're going to say, absolutely, I don't want that anymore. And then what you need to do is you need a way to remind your member what they said they wanted again. And you need a way to remind yourself, actually. So most of us have to become like self-cleaning ovens. I mean, we're, Blue Diamonds, Team Elites, Ruby above. You're going to need to be self-cleaning. So the statement and the actual practice of the statement every day allows you to be in a certain habit so you can remind yourself. And even I get like overwhelmed sometimes. I mean, like this today, I was totally overwhelmed. I was looking at the PowerPoint we had. I didn't like it. I was like, it's not what I want. And I had to, I had to meditate. I had to, I started this morning at 4:30 in the morning, listening to the chapters again, underlining, underscoring things that I needed for today's message. But I couldn't get it done. And I was trying to get my PowerPoint done. There was a lot of technical issues yesterday. So I was faced with a lot of things I'm not good at. And a lot of decisions to make and people to call. And I was trying to not do that. I was trying to meditate. I was trying to focus. I was trying to get all of that done. And so I was really stuck. And people wanted this way, and that way, and so many things. And so, I was against my wall, and I was like so happy. One of the things that can happen after a while, you realize if there's something really big happening, you're going to feel that way. You're going to feel like there's too much going on. And I need to stop. I need to relax. Or I want to give up. This is like some of the things that went on for me today. And so I just will tell you, I'm not superhuman I'm with you guys, okay? I'm with you guys. I go through my messy days where I don't look good at all and I don't feel good. And thank you, Patty, for being a part of the solution. She was part of the problem and part of the solution. So, I mean, like, that's what happens. I mean, really, I mean, no kidding. I mean, like, it's pretty, it's pretty hilarious. You know what? We get to laugh about it. Things that we cannot cry about, we got to laugh about. So that's what I'll just say today. We tried to get the Zoom at 3,000. We could have gotten it, but only 100 people show up. I didn't want that. I wanted screens and screens of people today. So, we want to continuously build every day with new guests. There's new topics every day. So, that we can invite new people for the different topics. You might know some people that really need, tomorrow's subject, which is going to be specialized knowledge and imagination. Maybe some people that are really good at that and they want to learn even more about it. So we can invite people. The homework is going to be about like super learning. I actually got some super learning today in the chapter of faith. So we're going to be doing special meditations today. Today's meditation is going to be how to focus your mind to the picture you want and how to get your genie to listen. I'll tell you, it's the most effective meditation I've ever learned. I've learned some, on the day of the subconscious mind and the sixth sense. I'm going to actually do a really deep dive on a meditation that is super powerful. I designed all my kites using Workshop of the Mind, and I'm going to be teaching that. And you guys, you can see recordings of that already posted, actually, if you guys want to try. But that's very complex. For most people, when they actually try to meditate, relax their mind, get into alpha, and then try to do something, immediately when they start to do something, their mind just takes off like a rocket. It just starts running, and they're no longer in alpha, and they can no longer use that creative energy. So I don't feel that that's the most effective, although it's the most advanced meditation. It's not the most effective. The one we're going to do today is, in my opinion, the most effective meditation you can do every day. So I want you guys to take into consideration these things as you guys go through homework exercise today. You will be able to access this meditation. We have it pre-recorded already. So, this is the nice thing. You can get it literally right after the presentation. And then we are going to re-record it again today. So, I mean, that's the beauty about this. So Javier, we have that meditation, right? It's in the site. Do we have it? We can post it in the site. Give me a thumbs up if that's.
Yes, we have the meditation.
Yeah.
I don't know which meditation you're talking about.
It's the dark screen, light screen. Yeah.
Yes, I will look for it. Yeah, I have 30 minutes. I will find it.
So anyway, does anybody have any questions for today
Alan,
or yesterday? Yep.
yeah, Alan, please, can you please disconnect your WhatsApp?
Okay.
From the computer.
Yep. Okay. Let me open it. Okay, got it. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Raise your hand, or you can silent. Raise it on to everyone.
Linh Châu ơi, cho chị hỏi Linh Châu.
Entonces, ¿seguimos con los mismos mil personas o se amplió el Zoom, Laurita?
Yeah, this will have 1,000 people, and
No, sí, pero la respuesta
and then we have an
Let me answer.
overflow.
La respuesta, que lo hablo en inglés o en español. ¿En español? No, the
Yeah.
answer is
In-
we are gonna continue with the Zoom of 1,000 people, but we are gonna broadcast to YouTube because from YouTube you can interpret in different languages like Spanish, Vietnamese, Korean. But if the people want to listen to Spanish, in case we are more than 1,000, we are going to use a Facebook that we will take the link.
Can you post that link right now, Javier, for the for both the YouTube and the Facebook? If Patty, you can put on the YouTube link, and then Javier, you can put on the Facebook link. And please, everybody,
So-
copy these
One
links.
of the things that we can do to continue to promote, I think, is we can continue to promote in different social media. And doesn't matter if we are in the second or third day. I think the most important thing is that we can send the first day because it's Alan's story, so people cannot like get into the background, and then we send you the day that we are going to invite. So we can invite people every day, and at the end, to these people, like we can send the recordings of the days that they are missing.
Yeah, if they come, they can get a recording. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And please don't post the Facebook link, okay? Because every time you post something in Facebook, the link is different. So please don't post yesterday's. Okay, as soon as we start posting in Facebook, we will have the link and then we will write it down in chat, okay? But it's a different one from yesterday.
O sea
Oh,
que
I see.
en español solamente lo vamos a tener en el Facebook, en el grupo cerrado, o es
No.
abierto?
No, okay, let me explain in Spanish. El Facebook va a ser la último recurso. Todo el mundo a YouTube,
Okay.
¿ok?
En
Y
español.
como último recurso, utilizaremos el Facebook, ¿ok? It will be the last resource. Everyone has to go to YouTube. And the last resource will be the Facebook.
But
Okay.
maybe what we have to do is teach. If you go to YouTube had something in the corner that says translation. So just try to go to YouTube and get that so you can explain to your people. It's really easily on the right, Javier, I don't know, you can explain. You can choose translation and it say into Spanish. People can get the translation in Spanish.
It will be
And
subtitled.
otherwise, otherwise people
The
can go to
Facebook is ready. Everything in the Facebook is already is just ready. I just have to press the button.
Okay.
So when
So
we
our-
get to the moment we have to do it, it will be done immediately, very
So-
quickly. We wait
so
for
our-
Patty for that.
Yeah, so our plan, everybody, today is we have 2 overflows, one in English, which is YouTube, and that you can translate and subtitle in YouTube. And number 2, Facebook, which will allow people to hear it in Spanish language through our interpreter, Laura. And this allows us to have quite a bit of overflow. But we don't want to use the overflow unless we really need it. And the reason why we don't want to do that, we want to keep basically 1,000 in the room at all times. If it drops below 800, I asked Javier to close.
Una pregunta, solamente
Facebook,
quiero saber si el
that
Facebook
people
es
can come back.
abierto o cerrado,
And,
porque los grupos como tal
Patty
son
is also
abiertos,
going to send
son cerrados,
messages
perdón.
out if we start dropping below 800, so that everybody can come back into the the YouTube, the Zoom link. I'm so sorry, my brain from this technical day. But yeah, go ahead, Jillian.
Right now it's streaming live for the Koreans, but we're going to stop the YouTube live and it's going to be a new link. And so I will put the new link in the chat box when I start the new live.
Okay, just take it at like,
When even-
10 minutes before we are going to go on the
Yeah,
clock, on the
when we do
timer,
the
countdown.
5-minute timer,
And then
yes.
you can
Yeah.
start the new
YouTube
live.
live, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, we have a few hands up. So let's see. I don't know which one was first, but Catarina Castro. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Yep. You're not unmuted yet.
Caterina, tienes ahora.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very excited for this, but how do we get our group? You've mentioned that, and I was here since the beginning yesterday, but how do I get a group?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, you're one of the leaders, so you got to form your group. But you can, if you have Sideline or other people that you know that are on, you can ask them if they have enough people in their group. But
I
you
don't,
see-
I,
you
I don't know
yet.
anybody. No,
Okay,
I'm
then-
kind of on my own.
Then you know what? Probably Tatiana will take you under her wing. Tatiana Goldberg, Goldberdies. I think she's here. So Tati, try and connect
I'm
with.
here, yes.
Yeah, Tati, can you take her under your wing? Katerina Castro. She seems like she's from the U.S. Could be.
Yes.
What state are you
Katerina,
from?
Take my phone number, 310-770-0442.
310-770-0442.
Yes, we will
Thank
talk.
you so much,
Saturday.
Tatiana.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Perfect.
That's awesome. All right, we got Nakchan Tadi. I'm gonna ask you to unmute here. Yeah.
Xin chào Alan. I'm very glad when you when I'm here. Cho chị cho Trân hỏi một câu là trong cái bảng mà tuyên bố mục tiêu đó, thì cái khúc đầu của mình đó, cái deadline của mình là mình ghi ví dụ như ngày 24 tháng 10 năm 2023, nhưng mà sau khi tuyên bố mục tiêu xong rồi thì cái lúc mà mình ký tên ở phía dưới là ký tên của ngày 24 tháng 10 2023 hay là ký tên cái lúc mà mình viết cái bản tuyên bố mục tiêu?
Is it clear, Alan?
I wish I could understand that, but no.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait,
Xin
the,
chào.
who can give me a English translation for that?
Ellen, I can translate to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
She
Alan,
asked that. Yeah.
I would like to ask you when I do the tuyên bố mục tiêu là gì, Linh Châu? The statement. Yep. The deadline I have written 24 October Domin 23.
Yep.
Where and I write like that. After that, when I sign my name, the deadline I will write
Today's date.
Today tức là cái ngày mà em viết á, cái ngày mà em viết á.
Chị Vinh, dục về em chị Vinh.
Thì chị có hỏi rồi đó, chị nói Alan, can you hear me?
Yep, perfectly.
Okay, her question is on her statement. When she put my name is and today is what day I am diamond leader, whatever. And when she sign on the bottom of the statement, that day is today or today up there?
Yep, today. Today's
Okay.
date on the bottom.
Cái ngày mà em viết cái bảng đó là ngày hôm nay đó. Ở dưới á. Chứ không phải là cái ngày ở trên. Ngày ở trên là một năm sau. It's a 1 year later. The statement is 1 year later. But down there when you sign is today.
Yes.
Là ngày hôm nay.
Yeah, what you want to do, and this is kind of interesting. I covered it a little yesterday, but the idea is that although we write a statement every year, we don't always accomplish it every year. That's actually the true thing. Most of my statements took me 2 years to accomplish, and like my house, it took me like 4 years. So it's kind of normal that if you don't accomplish your goal, then you got to review it. But yeah, the dates are going to be exactly like what we just said. So the date on the statement is 1 year from now, roughly, and October 24th is fine. It must be a special date for you. You know, like I have my birthday, June 21st, as my statement date. And then what you want to do, though, is commit yourself to the statement. And what I'm going to say is, even for me, I know that this is the way. I absolutely know it. And yet I try all of the hard ways first. I don't know why. I don't know why we do that, but we try all of the difficult ways. I remember when I was working on Nourish the Children, and I was like traveling and trying to get everybody going and all of this. And I was like, what am I doing? I gotta first visualize this and see 100,000 meals and get that correct in my brain first before I gotta get the success wavelength out first before I start trying to work on it. And it's pretty shocking, I think, that even at my level, which if you look at how many goals I've accomplished, those are only some of them. I've done a lot more, but you have to put it in your mind first. You got to see that success before you can succeed. So I just want to really emphasize that to everybody on this call, because that is the key point. And the second key point is when you review your goal at the end of time, so like about 1 or 2 weeks before the goal is going to happen, I start reviewing in my mind. Did I state it twice a day? Did I state it out loud? This is number 2, really critical. Did I, emotionalize the goal? And with the house, I remember, like, I don't feel emotional. And I've been doing it for 2 years already, and it's not coming about. And so finally, I really, really tried to think how I could emotionalize the goal. And when I started to say, I'm going to build the home with my dad, I got emotional about that. I really had this feeling like, wow, that's what I want. I want to have a relationship with my dad, and we're going to build my home together. And then I could emotionalize the goal. So, it's kind of difficult with money to emotionalize money. So always try to put some really great things for yourself, for your family, and for the world. And it's got to be all 3. You cannot just put for your family and for the world, especially if you're one of the dolphins or, one of the monkeys, anything. I don't need something for myself. Or if you're one of the elephants, you kind of can reason and logic that it's more important this or that, but you always have to put something for yourself, because if not, you are always going to have this really big problem. And that problem is that you are not going to be able to, it's got to be something that builds your value, your own self-worth. So in the future, one of our homeworks is going to be to buy a new set of clothes. That's one of our goals for one of the homework. Yeah, look at Laura's all happy. I get to buy a new set of clothes. Alan said. Yeah, it's not my fault, Javier. It's got to go on our credit card because Alan said. Right, yeah.
Hey,
So
good morning, Alan again, everybody.
Hello. So we got over here, Yaqueen. Let me see. I'm going to ask her to unmute. Her hand's up. Yep.
Jacqueline Reyes.
Sí.
Reyes. No, era por el idioma, que no podía transformarlo a español, pero ya lo pude hacer. Gracias.
Yo. Jacqueline, yo hice la pregunta. ¿Sí? me cuesta porque Alan nos ha repetido en todo el tiempo que que he podido estar en los seminarios de él. Siempre dice, trabaja tu mente, porque para mí es un poco difícil mantener concentrado. Por ejemplo, Alan nos ha enseñado el taller de nuestra mente. Yo lo tengo, y cuando Alan nombró eso, hablábamos en el tiempo de pandemia que trabajamos mucho eso, y ahora nuevamente en este seminario, y yo lo tengo en mi mente, pero no logro concentrarme para darle la orden a mi cerebro o a mi mente, maestra, cuánto debo estar enfocada. No sé si logro ser clara. Quiero saber cómo hago para mantener o verdaderamente darle esa orden, o enfocarme con lo que yo quiero. Como te digo, tengo en mi mente lo que Alan nos ha enseñado, pero es muy frágil para mí. Creo que me falta concentrarme, no sé, quiero saber cómo lo hace Alan.
I kind of got most of it, but somebody give me the gist of that. I don't know if Luisa Granados or Patty Acosta can do that for me. Or somebody, Clara.
She's asking, Alan,
Can you? Okay.
Yeah,
she
go
has
ahead.
a question that she say she knows like all the things that you are teaching. She's been listening to you. She kind of knows, but she cannot concentrate her mind.
Yeah.
So she cannot get that. Even though she try, she cannot keep her mind straight in what she wants.
Yeah, I got it.
So how she can concentrate?
That is actually today's lesson, actually, really. If you want to summarize what is today's lesson, it is exactly that. It's exactly how to change your mind over time. And this is an exercise. I mean, this is a discipline. This is, it's not free. And everybody has to learn it themselves. I remember Patty Acosta learning this, working on it, and even meditation. I remember one day, this is probably a year into touring Colombia, and Patty walked into the room one day and said, I need to learn to meditate. I'm going to die if I don't learn to meditate. This is too much hard. And you get to the point where you have to. That is really my message to you, leaders. You have to get to that point where you have to, and that's when you're going to get it. So, you got to get that. You need to get that 100-pound dog behind you. You gotta run for what it is that you want. You gotta create a burning desire. All of those things we talked about yesterday and everything we're gonna be talking about today. So we're gonna be doing meditation. We're gonna be doing everything we can to get your mind focused. But let me tell you, it took me 2 months to do Rock and Bucket. I actually bought a bucket out of steel, an old-fashioned steel bucket, and I got a big rock and I started practicing, because the minute I'd relax and my mind finally settled down, I'd fall right asleep. It'd be like my mind was wild, and then I'd slow down, relax, and then I was gone. I mean, there was no alpha for me. It was on or off. And it took me 2 months of that practice to decide and to get it to the point where I could actually do it. And even then, when I would lie down, as soon as I lie down, I'd be sleeping again. I mean, like, it didn't work until I could really get the alpha state. And I really suffered that, tell you the truth. I was a big monkey So focus was very difficult for me. Sounds like you're a monkey too, the one that asked that question. So I just will say, you know, guys, this takes practice. This takes discipline. This takes leadership of yourself. And so don't expect it to be a short road. We're going to talk about that today, about patience, about all of the virtues of what you got to do to get past this moment. Now we're about 10 minutes out, so I'm sorry we got 2 more questions, but I can't pick up that question. But if you text it in the chat, I'll have Jillian pick up that chat and then ask it at the end of the day, and we'll answer it for everyone, okay? Howard, yeah. And
Escribir la respuesta.
so we're about ready to start our countdown clock. We're gonna stop the YouTube link. So I just want to let Chung Hil know that we're gonna start again in the new